Welcome, James. We are continuing our chat on libido today and how to support it. Mostly naturally. Stux! How are you? Stux, just before a lot of people get in here, I just want to give you the biggest hug for last night. I appreciate it. Life has curveballs, right? And I just appreciate you taking the time to give me encouragement and to be kind. Because I just think that that goes a long way. So I appreciate you. Thank you, honey, so much for the kisses. Shauna, welcome in. Welcome in. Nice to see everybody. Please share out the live. We are talking about something that I talk about a lot in my practice. It's something that comes up a lot. There's a lot of concern. There's a lot of myths out there about libido. There's a lot of misinformation with regards to things are wrong with my body. I don't know why it's fluctuating so much. I have it one day, I don't have it the next. It's normal. That's just a part of libido. Hey, Shauna. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for the taps. Thanks for the popular, Shauna. I love seeing my name. It's so weird to see my name and actually spelt correctly, because I honestly don't, I see a lot of W's, so it's just cool to see my name out there. And I know it's your name too, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to say hi Shauna when that's like actually your name. But anywho, we're talking about libido, how to best support it naturally, because that's what I like to focus on in my practice. Do I completely eliminate the use of recommending the blue pill and all those other types of things? No, but it's not one of the first probably 25, 30 things that I dive into and focus on. So we are going to talk about, I'm in the car with no sound. Hi, Mary Henry. I hope you can hear us soon, Mary. So cool to see everybody. So please share this live, because again, I think it's a topic that is not talked about enough. I think it's a topic that's highly misunderstood, and I think it's a topic that people need information on, just because you can very much impact your libido negatively, and it doesn't take a lot of it doesn't take a lot of like massive shifts. Tiny shifts can make a huge impact on your libido in a positive way. Okay, let's dive in. So some key takeaways from our chat last week. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to dive on in those as well. But some key takeaways from the chat last week is that libido is dynamic. It's multifactorial. It's not a moral measure for sure. It fluctuates on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes even within that day. And there are a lot of things that, thank you, honey, for kicking us off on the trick or treats. Appreciate you so much. There are a lot of things that impact libido. And so there are a lot of things that can be done to positively influence your libido. So thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. It doesn't look like we're getting pushed out today. That's okay. I know that this week is kind of a busy week for everybody. It's Halloween, and there's a lot going on. So some of the biggest things that impact libido: stress, shame, disconnection, what we actually put in our bodies. Yes, food has a massive impact on libido. And I actually have taken a lot of the foods that are commonly consumed and broken them down into how they can actually impact libido in a positive way and a negative way. So with regards to blood flow, with regards to nitric oxide production, there's a lot of different things that can help impact libido. So I'm going to talk about the food. So if you have a pen and paper, or if you want your notes app open or whatever, just to write a few things down that can positively impact women specifically, can positively impact men specifically. My Maggie, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that, Maggie. How are you today? I just got a text, a notification that I saw at the top that you texted me, so I will make sure I read that. And just got a brief shot of it. I hope things went well for you yesterday. Okay, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. So, stress, shame, and disconnection are some of the 3 most impactful libido squashers. So I want you to be aware of that and how we can impact that. What does supporting your libido actually mean? Alice, how are you? Maggie, yeah, rad a cowboy. Supporting your libido, I like to look at it from a few angles. I am looking at how we treat our body, how we're treating our mind, and how we're treating our relationship. Maggie, thank you for the donuts. So libido isn't just like a simplistic thing that, if it's not up to snuff in my books, meaning, any individuals, like if you are struggling with your libido or your libido, or you're frustrated with it, there's so many different things that you can do to impact it. And it is about not just, it's a more complicated, I like to refer to it as a puzzle. There's lots of different pieces to that puzzle. So we're looking at body, we're looking at mind, and we're looking at your relationship as a whole. One of the best aphrodisiacs, feeling safe, seen, and celebrated. What is that? It's emotional safety. And so that is going to very much impact your libido. So we talked about accelerators and brakes, and we've talked about it in the past. What actually turns you on, what turns you off. People call it, hey Suma, welcome in. Thank you for the popular, and thank you for the heart me. Get your heart me's in, people, because that helps push us out. And I very much appreciate the support, because again, this is relationships and keeping families together are very much my priority. Thank you, honey, for the trick or treat. So I appreciate all the taps, all the shares, all the heart me's. Taz, thank you for the popular. Maggie, thank you for the little teeny tiny trick or treat. I appreciate that, and thank you, honey. So I like to use a lot of people like to use the metaphor as a traffic light. What are your green lights or accelerators, or your turn-ons? What are your brakes? And if there's a few things in the middle that are neutral, those are your yellow lights. And sometimes the neutral lights, thank you, Alice, for the populars. I appreciate it. Can be very much, can be warmed up into a turn on. Mama, thank you for the heart me. Depending on your connection level that you are navigating in your relationship at any given time. So notes out, your note app, what do you call it? Your notes app open if you want to take down any of the foods that are very much impactful in the libido department. I am doing well, Mama. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, fam. Hey, Lizette, how are you? Hi, Charlotte. Hey, Acer, welcome in. SB girl. Thank you for everybody for coming in. Thank you for the popular, Charlotte. I appreciate you. Oh yes, food and libido. And I've talked about food and libido before. Hey, madam, how are you? But I went for a deep dive, and I have a list of quite a few foods that impact more specifically like libido as a whole, but I wanted to get into it a little bit more, like the why behind it, because I'm always curious about the why. So we're talking blood circulation, we're talking nitric oxide production, we're talking all the different things, and specifically for men, specifically for women. Any advice for women 55 plus? 100%. The foods that I'm going to mention are going to support hormone production. The foods that I'm going to permit, the foods that I'm going to talk about are going to impact, it doesn't matter your age. 55 plus, we've got menopause, we're dealing with that, or perimenopause. So all of these things are impactful. Sleep is crucial with libido. That is when our hormones are best supported, when we're sleeping. That's when they are produced. Testosterone, we all need it. We all love it. We all rely on it as a part of our libido support. We need sleep. The sweet spot for libido is 7 to 8 hours. And I know a lot of people are like, what? I only get 4. I'm encouraging you to try and get 4.5 or 5 or 6. Try and get some sleep, because your sexual response cycle is very much impacted by the amount of sleep that you get on a nightly basis. So give yourself the gift of sleep, please. Chris, thank you for the follow. 55 plus, what else can I tell you? The foods that you ingest, the things that you put on your body, very much impact libido. The way in which you communicate with your partner very much impacts your libido. Charmin, thank you so much for the heart me. Maggie, I needed that today, Maggie. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Maggie. I hope, like, I keep thinking about you, and yesterday I hope it went well, Maggie. But win Maggie in the chat. Thank you for the Tom's hug. What else impacts libido? We talked about a lot of things on, when did we last have our live? Last Tuesday. I was with my grandbaby on Thursday, so I didn't get back into on live. But easy things to implement in your relationship to help with libido. Utilize all 5 senses. That awakes erotic energy. It helps you keep you focused in the moment. It helps keep that response cycle moving. So we need a sense of, women start at a more of a neutral state. There's responsive and there is spontaneous desire. Women are more responsive. We need something to respond to. And so if we can train ourselves into the pattern of we have 100 million things on our to-do lists. So that gets us out of the Lisa, thank you so much for the heart me. That gets us out of allowing that sexual response cycle to move from a state of desire to the physiological parts of our body that are affected by arousal, and then we go from arousal to the more excited part, or the big O as a lot of people call it, and then we have our refractory period. Again, our refractory period as women is kind of amazing in that it can be seconds, it can be minutes, or it can be a little bit longer. Everybody's different. And men, the majority of them take a little bit longer. So we get that gift that they don't have. So that's kind of cool for us. Sometimes scheduling intimacy helps to support our libido, because it allows us to be able to wrap our head around, okay, if I know I'm going to be intimate with my partner later, I can kind of get my head in the game. That is helpful for a lot of women who tend to struggle in the arousal, the natural lubrication, the all things that work in that arena too. I think that there is a sort of a negative connotation with scheduling schmecks, and it's interesting to me when clients come and they're like, no way, that takes the spice out of it. And all I do as part of their homework is say, try it. Because you always have a low libido partner and a higher libido partner, or and within that, sometimes it's hard to get both people on the same page. And scheduling it helps the high desire person. I'm going to get something this week or today or whatever your schedule is. So they very much feel like they're getting what they need, and then the lower desire person has that time to get their head in the game. And like I've said before, what we have between our ears impacts libido on a massive level, because your brain is your most powerful schmeck's organ. And so if this guy is not on board, all your bits are not on board either. So that is helpful. Novelty and play. New environments, new toys, new positions, get out of your comfort zone. That helps in the libido department. Non-schmexual touch and schmexual touch. I talk often about having a balance of both. So when you have a balance of both, you are allowing your biggest schmexual organ, which is your skin, to get on board, to get into the game, and to sort of help the rest of your body, your erogenous zones and everything, help the rest of your body sort of get in the moment as well. Maggie, thank you so much for the trick or treat. Honey, thanks for the trick or treats very much. I appreciate that. And a lot of people struggle with the timing per se, and what I mean about that is let's just get it over with. Some people think, or quickies are the best, or I don't have time, or whatever. If you slow down and savor the moment, that is very much supporting your libido. Your libido is a very sort of intricate part of your schmuck's life, and it has needs. It needs to be fed well. It needs to be protected. It needs to be nourished. It needs to feel safe. So thank you so much for sharing the lives. Mike Z, welcome in. We're talking about all things libido today. So being mindful about how you are navigating being intimate is also important for libido, because past experiences also play into future in what your mind conceptualizes, or what your mind thinks about schmecks in general. So if you had an experience that was a negative one, or you didn't find yourself in a state of satisfaction, or you weren't pleasured per se, that impacts going into the next experience. That impacts your libido. So there's so many, many, many things that impact your libido. Schwab, thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the heart me's, everybody. That pushes us out. That just, I want you to know how much I appreciate the support. So, love it. Thank you. Thank you for the taps. Thank you for the shares. It all matters, and it is all very, very, very much appreciated. So thank you. Okay. I'm going to repeat it because I think it needs to be repeated. If your libido isn't in a place where you are happy with, stop shaming yourself. Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeding your mind crap that you are broken. You are not broken. You are not broken. Please understand that. There's so many different things that impact libido, and we talked about a lot of them on Tuesday. I'm just going to specifically talk about food today, but please know, like medication, stress, hormone imbalance, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, did I say prescription meds, supplements, your relationship as a whole and how you're navigating it. Alice, thank you so much for the greeting heart. I appreciate that. There's so many things that impact your libido. Sleep, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. So, Maggie, thank you for the populars. We are going to get into that extensive list. Maggie, thank you so much for that. For those little populars. Oh, Maggie. Thank you for the club cheers, Maggie. Okay. I'm going to start out with, I love those two little teeny tiny hearts. Budding hearts. Giving a high five. And the greeting heart. That's cute. Jessica, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate that so much. Okay. First topic that I'm going to talk about. Foods that improve blood flow and circulation. I'm going to say it again. Any supplements to help? 100% Stooks. I can get into that. But let's talk about foods that improve, because people have been hounding me on what foods help support libido. So we'll talk about that. Stooks, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Here's also the thing about supplements, Stooks, and I know I've said this before, but again, I need to repeat it. You are an individual that is different from everybody else. So when I recommend supplements, they are like just like a blanket recommendation, right? I don't know you specifically and your inner workings. Well, I know you, Stooks, but I don't know you I don't know the meds you take. I don't know the supplements that you take. I don't know the foods that you already consume. So it's kind of that's what I do with my clients is we go into a deep dive when we are discussing libido, and I want to know absolutely everything you eat. I want to know how you exercise. I want to know your sleep schedule. I want to know the meds that you already are taking. Thank you, Maggie, for the trick or treat, because we need to find something that works for you. So what I recommend for you is going to be different than somebody else, than your wife, so it's very specific and tailored to what you need. So when I recommend supplements, it's just a blanket recommendation. So please understand that asking your doc if you have like I call it a stew, your stew of meds, if they don't play well together, your stew is not going to taste well. It's not going to perform best for you. Hobo, welcome in. Nice to see you. No lies detected. I also enjoy you too. Here we go. So let's get into, first I want to talk about foods that increase blood circulation and blood flow. Why is this important? We all have erectile tissue. Yes, men and women have erectile tissue. Men, obviously, it goes to the male member below the waist. Thank you for the trick or treat, honey. Women, it's going to this organ, which again, the majority we see. That's how much we see when the clitoral hood has exposed the head of the clitoris right there. That is, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just did. This is what we don't see. When engorged with blood, this reaches three and a half times its size. And this is the optimal state of arousal. So we need blood flow, women and men. And I have a lot of models behind me that I use in my client sessions. However, if I bring a male model out, I will get booted off. So I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Please reset my goal. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie, I don't know what I would do without you. Okay. We're on a Halloween theme here, folks, because we only have a few days. And interestingly enough, the last time I was on live, which was last Tuesday, which is, what was that, the 22nd or something? To me, that's very close to Halloween. I don't know why they wait to the very last moment to have these cute little guys in the gift gallery, or in the gift, whatever it is. But anywho, I don't make the rules for TikTok, so let's go for some candy. That's the first one I saw, candy something or other. Okay, blood flow and circulation. Miguel, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Mama, thank you for the little booze. How cute is that little guy? Very cute, little booze. Okay, first one. Blood circulation. Maggie, thank you for the candy loot. Win Mama and win Maggie, my two M's. Matthew, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. First food, and I kind of sped through a few of these at the very end because I promised I would give you a list last time, but then we ran out of time. So let us go through these and tell you exactly what each one does. Beets. I'm going to start with beets. What do beets do? Beets are high in nitrates. We need all of that. Well, Lizette, stay tuned. Beets are high in nitrates. Nitrates convert to nitric oxide. We very much need nitric oxide to help with blood circulation. Nitric oxide we produce normally, naturally. And as we increase on the candles on our cake every year, Tanya, I have plenty of choices. My husband loves beets. I think they're so weird. I'm not a beet girl either. So I get you, Tanya, but I have lots of different ones. Peyton, thank you for sharing the live. A really kind of cool thing is that we produce nitric oxide in our nasal cavities. And the easiest way for us to produce nitric oxide is to hum. Weird, I know. But if you are looking to increase your sexual function, hum. So weird. Well, broccoli fly. Yeah, Stooks, you are so right. And hubby loves broccoli. I love broccoli when it's done in the air fryer, so it's a tiny, tiny bit crispy. It tastes to me like slightly like candy. I freaking love it. Or you can bake it in the oven drizzled with olive oil, and then we put cayenne pepper and garlic and a little bit of salt. It's so freaking good. Lizette, I would invite you to come, and I would love for you to taste my broccoli, or our broccoli. It's so delicious. So it was rust crop dusting on the plane. I can't confirm or deny. He says no, but I mean, roasted with smoked paprika, that sounds really good. Carrots are delicious in the air fryer. You know what? I think anything is delicious in the air fryer. We use it almost every day. Okay, let's get back to libido. Beets. We want to improve your vasodilation, which means instead of having your veins constricted, which means really, really tight, so nothing can get through, which means there's not a lot of space for blood to get where we want it to get, it dilates. Beets or nitric oxide does that. So when we dilate our vessels, blood can go to where we want it to get. Oh, really? I'm yellow? I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I could work on that. I could change the lighting next time, but I promise you I'm not yellow. But I appreciate you letting me know, and I will try and address that. Okay, besides beets, pomegranate. I love pomegranate. I think the worst part about pomegranate is actually getting the seeds out. But if you tube of the Wyatt and look for some cool ways to do it, I put it in a Ziploc bag and pounded it. Love that. Or else putting it in a bowl, cut halfway upside down. Not halfway upside down, but cut halfway and then put upside down and then pound it. Pomegranates are amazing for boosting circulation. They reduce oxidative stress, and they are linked to improved erectile response. Good thing. Thank you for the candy loot, honey. I appreciate that. Oh, Maggie, thank you. I appreciate that. One of my favorites of all time to ever grace the face of the earth, chocolate. We're going to be talking about watermelon. Watermelon is one of the best things to help blood flow and circulation. Well, let's just go with it right now. Watermelon contains citrulline, and citrulline is an amino acid that relaxes your blood vessels, similar to the blue pill. But I don't condone the blue pill because there's so many other things that we can do. Watermelon is absolutely incredible for erectile dysfunction. Highly suggest it. Maggie, thank you for the candy loot. Appreciate that. Watermelon, Dale. Yes. Yes. Oysters are a great aphrodisiac. We're going to talk about oysters in a second. Oysters are a hormone balancing food. So oysters are great. But for blood circulation, I'm just going to focus on a few more foods and then we'll move to the next one. Dark chocolate. Love. I think it's one of the most perfect foods on the face of the planet. But I'm looking for anything that is 70% and above in the cacao department, because this increases serotonin. It enhances mood and it increases blood flow. And it also increases a word that always trips me up, but it's phenylthylamine. Chocolate is the best. Czar, how are you? I am well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Czar, thank you for the heart me. So far we have, if you are writing a list, foods that improve blood flow and circulation: beets, pomegranate, dark chocolate, watermelon, and we're going to move to the next one, which is, Lizette, agreed, Zara, thank you for the little, you're awesome. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the lightning bolt. The cake slice. Okay, I can get behind that. Thank you. Peruvian maca works. We're going to talk about maca too. I am very much an advocate for maca. We will talk that. Thank you for the pumpkin. OG, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. And for the ice cream cones are, thank you. Pomegranate, yes. Pomegranate seeds are incredible at reducing oxidative stress, and they are also linked to Suma. Thank you for the little cat. You're awesome. That's the you're awesome. Thank you. They improve erectile response, pomegranates. All these things that people just are so quick to grab prescription meds or look at other alternatives, and we have so much of what we already need at our fingertips, right? Citrus fruits are another one. Vitamin C is very much a big supporter of nitric oxide production. Dale, if you are using that and you find it to be helpful for you, wonderful. But I would love you to pair some of these other things to see if you can get the most benefit from the natural part of what some natural options as well. Do you like pineapple and coconut? Do they help? Pineapple we're going to talk about. We'll talk about them for sure. Healthy eating is probably the way to go. I always say that because I think that food either fuels disease or fights it. Food either is going to get you to feeling a state of like optimal cellular function, or if you choose other things that are processed and high sugar and all those other things, you're not going to be benefiting yourself or your libido. Okay, we talked about citrus fruits. We talked about watermelon. Let's talk about leafy greens. So Lizette, I'm not going to your broccoli quite yet, but leafy greens, and specifically spinach, kale, arugula. I'm not a fan of arugula. I find it very bitter, but I could swim in a sea of spinach. I love spinach. Kale, I like in the air fryer sticks. I like it crispy because I also think a baby kale is a lot better, I think, but however you find it tasty. Spinach is excellent. My hubby likes it cooked. My hubby likes it anyway, actually. I'm not a fan of it cooked. I like when things mostly are raw. That would be my first choice. So spinach, kale, and arugula contain nitrates and magnesium, and you all know, or maybe you all don't know because there's a few new people in here, but I could go on and on for days about magnesium. But nitrates and magnesium, they improve vascular health, of which I mentioned before. We need healthy blood flow to have our erectile health at its optimal level. Thank you, honey, for the candy loot. I appreciate that. Jessica, thanks for the likes. Okay. Another one that I can't get enough of, and some people aren't a fan of because they feel like they when they eat it, they smell of it. My sister's very much like that. But I am not, so I'm glad. Garlic. Love garlic. Fansville, thank you for the follow. Trish, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam, both of you. Taz, thank you for the pumpkins. Love those little guys. And Trish, thank you for the heart me. If you have not gotten your heart me today, please do so. Oh, there's so many different types of magnesiums. We've actually done a live on that, Rafa. Citrate is one that is helpful for digestion. Taurate is very much helpful for your brain. There's what I like now that they offer is there's a company called BioEmblem, and I've actually partnered with them before. They used to have a 5, but it's a 3. They have 3 magnesiums in one. I like the fact that they are giving you options. Thank you, Yuli, for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Free to be. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. We double or triple it in every recipe. Garlic? Me too. Love it. But getting a few of them involved, a few magnesiums in your body, we need more magnesium. A lot of us are deficient in it. And when I say a lot of us, the majority of us are. But again, always important to ask your doc in which work best for you. I'll see if I have it here. I always have the ones that I partner with, but I must have taken it to the bathroom. I can bring it out later. But magnesium, so important. Garlic and onions, what do? They contain allicin, which supports, again, cardiovascular health. They can do blood work, Dale, for sure. Turmeric and magnesium glycinate. Oh, glycinate glycinate is probably your best bet if you were to take it, because it helps us sleep, it helps us relax, it helps. There's so many different things that magnesium glycinate does. So that is usually the first recommendation that I give people. Tanya, it just depends on how or what things you want to focus on. I could chat about magnesium for sure. You want me to do that on Thursday? We've done all the different types of magnesium before, but I can totally do it again. The professor, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. We can talk about magnesium again. Such an important element that needs to be in your body for so many different cellular functions. But as we're talking today, we're talking about sexual function. It very much impacts your libido. Okay, Tanya, I can send you a message on the one that I like. Thank you for the pumpkins. Trish, thank you, Jessica. Okay, my last one on blood circulation and blood flow, chili peppers. You're welcome, Tanya. Coach, does this work for 100%? Yes, Dale, absolutely, 100%. Chili peppers, why? Capsaicin boosts circulation, and it boosts endorphins. Huge impact chili peppers make on libido. Peyronie's disease. Oh, Joel. I have so much to say on Peyronie's disease, and I've actually talked about it before on my live. I actually counsel a lot of men on Peyronie's disease. So if you want some specific info on Peyronie's disease, I can help you. I've actually just partnered up with a company that their main goal is men's health, and so I can I have access to a few different tools now that I didn't have access to before. So Joel, if you want to send me a message. Shauna, thank you for the rose. What if you can't do chili peppers too spicy? What's the next thing for libido? Amy, I'm going to be talking about a whole crap load of different foods, but the ones that I was just specifically referring to helped blood flow and circulation. So I spoke on beets, pomegranates, watermelon, dark chocolate, citrus fruits, leafy greens such as spinach, kale, and arugula, garlic, and onions. So those are all different options if chili peppers aren't your vibe. What about an overactive bladder? Trish, look, you guys are coming up with some awesome topics. Somebody else asked me if I would do a live on vaginal atrophy, and I could combine that as well. So I can talk about that on Thursday, if you want me to talk about that on Thursday. Overactive bladder and vaginal atrophy. Overactive bladder. Okay, I can do that. Awesome. Okay. Hormone balancing foods. That's what I'm going to go to next. So we did blood circulation, blood flow. Now hormone balancing foods. Ready? Premature E. Do you know what? I am working with a client on that one right now. And again, another topic of convo that is a common one, Milner. That's because I'm a clinical sexologist. That is a topic that comes up quite a bit. So Milner, if you want to reach out, I can assist you with that. I was going to do a live on that because there have been so many questions asked of me lately, and I don't know if that would be a possibility on TikTok because there's not a lot of things that I can say that I would get taken down for. There's a lot of things that I need to address when it comes to that I don't know that I can on TikTok. It's not TikTok friendly language. Would this help with late night urination? Dale, when's the last time you had your prostate checked? When's the last time you had a well check, Dale? Hormone balancing foods. First one, never? Okay, Dale, if that is an issue that is causing you like frustration, I would go in and do a well check, and they'll just check your prostate and they'll let you know whether it is enlarged or whether it is normal and whether you can 2 times nightly. I would just, and Dale, if you reach out to me, I can give you a list of questions that you could ask, and then some maybe give you a little bit of insight as to maybe what's potentially going on, and then you could have that confirmed or denied with your medical practitioner. Persian, yes, it does. Great question. First food, hormone balancing foods. Are you ready? Avocados. You're welcome, Dale. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fats, which are so good for your body. Vitamin E, which is vital for hormone production. So avocados are your friend. And I'm sure there's somebody out there saying, ooh, that's full of fat. Yes, but it is full of healthy fat. And for all my perimenopausal and menopausal women, healthy fat is a macronutrient that you need more of. Oh, Mary Henry, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to give you plenty more, Mary Henry. The further along in your perimenopausal and menopausal journey is the higher, let me rephrase that. As we get older as women, our healthy fat intake, we need a little bit more of it. Yes, you're welcome. The macronutrients in which we intake on a daily basis, Nadson, thank you for the follow. Welcome. I love avocados too. I didn't used to like them. The texture was a little bit for me. But now that I make the world's best guac, I like it a lot. Hubby can like crack open one and just eat it with a spoon. That is not my go-to. I like it like on a salad or in guac. But thank you, SCSU, for the follow. And T-Bake, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. I love avocados. I have 2 a week with Trader Joe's. Ooh, that sounds yummy, Lizette. I love it. So perimenopausal and menopausal women, we need a higher fiber intake on a daily basis, between 25 and 30, and then grams, and then higher protein intake and higher healthy fat intake. Super important. Carbs are also important because we need them for our brain to actually function. On toast with everything bagel seasoning. Ooh, I love everything bagel seasoning. Okay, moving on from avocados. Eggs. Maggie, thank you for the candy loot. I appreciate that. Eggs are rich in cholesterol and B vitamins. They are the building blocks for your Schmeck's hormones. Again, This is not going to be a list that everybody loves. I am not an egg girl. I do not, I think, I just don't. I can't. So other things are going to be my choice. But I'm not an egg person. And I am at the age where if I don't like something, if I don't like the way it tastes, looks, smells, whatever, no thank you. I don't need to do it. That's one of the perks of being an adult. Bye-bye, eggs. Can't do it. But again, the majority of the population loves them. Good for you. Because they are very much a building block for your Schmeck's hormones. And that is a good thing. But I will find other things. Olive oil and coconut oil. They support healthy cholesterol and hormone synthesis. Oh, really, Maggie? That's funny. Free will. Amen. Can't do it. Can't do it. I typically don't even put them in any of my baking. I use chia seeds instead. Chia seeds soaked in water. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds with 3 tablespoons of water equals 1 egg. That's my go-to. Okay, nuts, almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts are my top 3. Why? Because they include zinc, selenium, and omega-3s. What does this promote? I know you love eggs. Ugh. They promote testosterone and thyroid health. Yeah, Jess, let me know how it goes. I haven't found a recipe that, and I am like Betty the Baker. I love to bake. I have not found a recipe that it has not worked in. I mean, oftentimes people wonder what the little tiny, teeny black dots are. And I just say it's an egg replacement. I don't use eggs in my baking. There are things that I use eggs in. I just don't eat them. We can talk about what's good for thyroid for sure. Thyroid support. Let's do that. Let me finish libido first, okay? I always do eggs on the weekends, only time I have to make them. That's awesome. A little gift you give yourself on the weekend. Love it. Okay, so we've talked about so far avocados, eggs, olive oil, coconut oil, and nuts. Specifically, almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts. Let's talk about seeds. And I mentioned my little chia seed, which I love. She's in this list. So seeds, more specifically, pumpkin, chia, flax, and sesame. For my perimenopausal and menopausal women, flax, I recommend it every day. Not the seed specifically, but the ground seed. Because if you just consume the seeds, you are going to eliminate them without them being absorbed because of their little encasing, their little coating. It just, our digestive system doesn't break it down. So ground flaxseed. And the best ground flaxseed in the United States, they did a study, I think it was this time last year. It's from Trader Joe's. Kid you not. Kid you not. And that's the one I've used for the last few years. So, and it's very inexpensive. Trader Joe's ground flaxseed. Gliding through life. Thank you for the repost. Always a win. So pumpkin seeds are a really good thing for erectile health as well. So just a little side note. And we get the bag from Costco. It's a bright green bag, and it doesn't have a lot of crap in it. I don't want you eating a lot of crap with your roasted, salted, flavored, whatever nuts and seeds. Boo-hoo. Can't do nuts or seeds. Oh, irritable bowel. Gotcha. Okay, Mama, we've got plenty other things. Plenty other things. Pumpkin, chia, flax, and sesame. And again, with those little teeny chia seeds, if you take a tablespoon and try and ingest them just by swallowing them, you're going to struggle because they need to be soaked. They need to, you'll find when you put chia seeds in any type of fluid, they enlarge in size and they get a little bit like slimy. That's at the point where you need to be using them in your baking or in your little acai bowls or whatever the heck you make, but they like to be they like to swim in some fluid first. So just so you know. No, thank you. I do not want to co-host. Bye-bye. Why these seeds? I mentioned pumpkin, chia, flax, and sesame. They contain lignans, they contain zinc, and they contain healthy fats, all promoting hormone balance. Dates are really great. Dates are like a natural sugar. I put dates in absolutely everything. They help with your, I always say your second brain in your body is your what do you call it? Your stomach. It is what's happening in your belly. And your brain obviously is the most powerful when it comes to libido, but if your second brain, your digestive system isn't on track and the microbiome in there isn't at its peak level, it's going to affect your libido. You're not going to feel like you're not going to feel right. You're going to feel off in some way. Dates are awesome. I love dates. Okay, next one on my hormone balancing food list. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel. The last two, no thank you. Again, everybody's different. I will not touch sardine and I will not touch a mackerel. To each their own. A lot of people love them. But salmon and I have a special bond. I love salmon. My dad used to catch it. I'm from Canada originally. My dad used to catch it on when I was a little girl. And we now have an incredible fish market that's close by our house, and then we also have a very, very generous person in our community that actually sends us salmon. So we are very lucky. I know. Sorry, Stooks. Get eating your sardines. Omega-3s. What do omega-3s do? They lower inflammation. When our body's inflammation is lowered, we are at a less state of dis-ease. Our body is functioning at a cellular level more optimally. Inflammation does no one any good. Oh, Dale, we do a lot of lives and a lot of chats on menopause. So if you want to get her on board, if you want some specific assistance, reach out to me. We talk about menopause a lot in this live. And why? Because it impacts not only the person going through it, but the partner as well. And that impacts the relationship. And I mean, your schmeck's life. A lot of people think, oh, my schmeck's life will never be the same. Coming from a clinical schmexologist, that is complete BS. That is just some hogwash that you've been led to believe. It's just, we need to make some changes. We need to eat a little differently. We need to be strength training a little bit to get our muscle mass up so that we are protecting our bone strength and our muscle strength and protecting our heart health and protecting, TD, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Protecting what we need to protect so we can live a better life longer. Like women live longer than men on average, but that doesn't mean we live that our longevity, that our livelihood, that we are healthier longer. Michael, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. So set yourself up for success. Thank you for the witchy kitty, mama. Thank you, Mama, for that. And thank you for the populars. Win Mama in the chat. Okay. What else do sardines, mackerel, and salmon do? They boost dopamine. Dopamine feels really good in our bodies. Fish oils? Yes. Yes and yes. Stookies. Omega-3s are great, but again, take the recommended dosage for you. Rose Alice, thank you for the little pumpkins. Appreciate that. Lindsay, thank you for the heart me. I'm just doing my puzzle piece. Alice, thank you for the pumpkins again. Appreciate that. Is beet juice good for you? Yes, Trish. It impacts your libido because it helps blood circulation. Beet juice, yes. Yes and yes. What if you're allergic to all fish? Miss Maggie, then you are going to focus on the other things in this list. Erectile dysfunction is one of the top 5 things that I address in my practice, Mr. P. So if you would like to follow along, we talk about that a lot. A lot of clients that I have that I work on one-on-one with do struggle with erectile dysfunction. And there are many things that you can do to help support your erectile health. And they are going to impact that. Again, what we tell ourselves. Oh, Ryan, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Dusty, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Because your brain is your biggest, strongest, not your biggest Schmeck's organ is your skin. But your most powerful Schmeck's organ is your brain. And so a lot of what happens with erectile dysfunction, there are some tweaks that need to be made in your lifestyle, in the foods that you consume, in some of the behaviors that you choose to do. But a lot of it is between your ears. And why? Because we tell ourselves, oh crap, I can't perform, I can't get it up, I can't stay hard, blah, 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 blah. You tell yourself this, you tell yourself that. And when you tell yourself it over and over and over and over again, you believe it, it honestly impacts your erectile health. Trish, thank you for the autumn love. I appreciate that so much. So erectile health is something that I address almost on a daily basis. So let me know. So no corn, not saying that close. A lot of people use corn, and we did a live on this last month. A lot of people use corn as a positive addition to their Schmeck's life. Notice how I said addition as opposed to replacement. When it is done in secrecy, when it is done as a replacement to your partner, you will have issues, and that will impact your libido, your relationship, your Schmecksual response cycle. It will impact for sure. But it has to work for you and your partner. My husband is lucky. But as am I. That's funny. Trish, you're welcome. I love what I do because I think it's very impactful in the fact that this is information that we weren't taught when we were younger. And I wish we had been taught this younger, because I think relationships, marriages would be very different had we been given this information as to how our bodies function. Had we been given this information how to resolve conflict. Maggie, thank you for the candy loot. I appreciate that. Had we been taught how to conflict resolve, communicate effectively, had we been taught how important it is to create a space in which where we feel comfortable to express our needs schmexually and non-schmexually. Trish, thank you for the love you so much. Maggie, look how those wings match today. Thank you, Maggie. Birth control, Eileen, is such a pain point for me. Like it just annoys me so much, birth control, because it does what it needs to do. But the effects, the side effects that it has, it decreases libido. It messes with natural lubrication. There's so many things that it does. Eileen, have you asked your doc if there's any alternative or a different type? Like, when I used to take birth control, before I realized that it completely messed with my body, I am a super absorber. So when it comes to any type of prescription meds, I don't function well with prescription meds at all. It doesn't matter what kind they are. I can't do it. So, but I tried, I think, every single solitary birth control pill on the market. And you can get lower doses of the hormones involved, or there's a different combo. So I'm hoping that you can find one that works for you. And if not, if you don't want to mess around with that, vaginal suppositories for like moisture down there. Super helpful if you can get a really good one. If you want me to send you a recommendation of one, absolutely no problem. I can do that. Organic lubes, clean lubes like Good Clean Love, Uber Lube. What else do I have? Gems is a good one with no junk in it. I don't want you using lube that you just get off from a drugstore, or a cheap one like KY, or what's the other one that always comes up? A lot of those have ALCOHOL. I think I spelled that right. I can't say that on here. I'll get booted. Which dries you out. I never understand that at all. And the reason that, well, I do understand it. It's the way that they make money. So you buy more. Oh, I need more. Oh, I need more. And you just keep buying it. And it does more damage down there than good. So please don't get those kinds. But the ones that I mentioned, they're really good ones. I have all these boxes down here. Let me just turn one sec. Oh, Aloe Cadabra. That's another one that's really, really good. Again, organic. And you're looking to find one that has a similar pH to the vaginal canal, because then it doesn't mess up things down there. There's always micro tears that happen. And you can cut down on the amount of micro tears with a really good lube. And you also diminish the chances of bacterial vaginosis. My libido is terrible ever since I gained weight. Excess weight is number one. Libido, yeah. Because when you have inflammation in your body, there is more cortisol. And again, we talked about inflammation before. And also confidence comes into play. Body image comes into play. Because your number one, your biggest, most powerful schmexual organ is your brain. So weight does come into play. My body works perfectly without it. Without what? Without the birth control? I know mine did too. Yes, I've been using Sputter, but it makes me kind of numb. Okay, I don't like that. What kind of suppositories are you using? I've tried the shot back in the day. I blew up. That's not good. Oh, we need the quality for the we need the quality for the cavity. Amen, Lizette. I love it. Thanks, Peyton. When I do it fast, I'm like, did I? I don't know. Trish, thank you for the roses. Okay, let's get back to food. You ready? Okay, here, Lizette. Ready, Lizette? I'm going to save you and say sweet potatoes and yams first. Because what do sweet potatoes and yams do? They support progesterone balance and blood sugar regulation, which is so cool. I'm listening. I've always suffered from vaginal dryness, and now after menopause, estradiol cream is messy. Estradiol cream can be messy, and there are a lot of people that struggle and they don't like to use it. There are other options. Have you tried like a suppository? I know estradiol cream is, one of the best ways to help that, but there are options. Miss Australia, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Coconut oil, 100%. As a natural girl, love coconut oil. Okay. Cruciferous vegetables, Lizette. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. What do these guys do? They're going to help metabolize excess estrogen. I heard of hyaluronic acid does that. Yes, that is correct. And hyaluronic acid gets such a bad rap because you hear the word acid and then you cringe. And it is an acid, but it doesn't do what a typical acid that we think of typically, it does not do that. Yes, Dale. But you have to be careful with oils when you use them as a lubrication, because if you are using a protective barrier, you're so welcome, Miss Australia. Hey, Sue. How are you? Charles, thank you for the follow. Hey, Nola, how are you? I like all things natural. Coconut oil has a natural anti what do you call it, bacterial component to it, which I love. Miss Bling, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Wow, okay, grab a towel. 100%. Oils can be a bit messy, right? And if you're going, for people who use, I don't know if I can say this on here, condoms. I don't know if I can say that on here. Will soon find out. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Swena, is that how you say it? I don't want to mess up your name, but that's a really pretty name. Sue, thank you for the heart puff. The heart puff and the rosa. Rubbers. I have not heard that in a very long time. Condominiums. That's awesome, Dale. Yes, if you're going to use condominiums, know that any type of oil-based lube is going to break down the material of the condominium. Cheeto, thank you for the rose. Maggie, thank you for that little message up top. I appreciate that. Raincoats. That's really cute, Cheeto. Thank you for the rose, Cheeto. Love it. Okay, now that we have totally grossed Lizette out with her Jimmy hats, which cream can be a balanced progesterone? Which cream can be balanced progesterone? Which cream balances? I don't know what you're asking me. Which cream can be balanced progesterone, darling? Gliding through life. Thank you for the shares. Last one on this list of helping to balance hormones is oysters. Why? It has the highest dietary source of zinc. Zinc is so good for many functions in our body, immunity, schmexual health. Trish, thank you for the little pumpkins. I appreciate that. And testosterone production needs zinc. So, oysters are very high in zinc. They help with testosterone production and libido in both men and women. Love oysters. See, I saved the best one for last. I snuck in the broccoli second to last, and then I made you love me again by oysters. So have at it, Lizette. Have at it. Okay. Stress reducing, mood boosting foods. Are we ready? Are we ready? Does anyone have any idea of what a stress reducing or a mood boosting food might be? You've redeemed yourself. Thank you, Lizette. Berries. Love berries. I always say that if I was ever stranded on an island and I would only have the capability of bringing two types of foods, it would be chocolate and berries. Persian, you're on it. Fruit, happy ending. Chocolate, blueberry chocolate. See, all these people are speaking my language. We're going to start with, and the reason I like to address mood boosting foods and stress reducing foods is because, okay, Miss Australia, is because I'm trying to find space here. Stress and cortisol is one of the biggest libido blasters. Goji berries. I love goji berries. So I always like to talk about ways we can reduce stress. And obviously there's activities, lifestyle choices, but specifically food is something that I like to talk about because it's something that we choose to put in our bodies every day. And if we can impact our cortisol levels by eating foods that support us in that department and help boost our mood. Sue, thank you for the little finger hearts. I appreciate that. So let's get into that. I've had chocolate. I've had berries. What else? Anybody have ideas? Anyone? Okay, just as a side note, as I'm waiting for that, let's talk to Miss Australia for a sec. I spoke about zinc Miss Australia, that is something that I want you to look into. High zinc foods. So foods that are rich in zinc. I just mentioned oysters. I mentioned pumpkin seeds, lentils. Love the occasional Canadian accent words. I don't know what you're talking about, Dale. Maggie, thank you for the candy loot. I appreciate that. Omega-3s. I want you to focus on omega-3s. Salmon, tuna, walnuts. We mentioned almonds. We mentioned Brazil nuts. Fruits and veggies that are high in vitamin C are going to help promote progesterone balance. Bell peppers, strawberries, Miss Australia. A weight is something that I like to address when talking about all things progesterone. Regular exercise, but be careful. The HIIT exercises or long-term cardio, I'm not a fan of because that increases your cortisol. Sleep, we mentioned sleep earlier. What else? Have you looked into micronized progesterone or a bioidentical progesterone? That's my fave. When it comes, or a progesterone cream. Oh, I don't know what. Yeah. Listen, Dale. I know that I get teased about that word. I get teased about when I say against. I'm backed against a wall. Autumn Love, thank you for the, Trish, thank you for the Autumn Love. Autumn Love, thank you for the Trish. I am overweight, hit gym now and believe. See, Alishon, excess weight very much impacts most cellular function in your body. What else can I say about progesterone? I would get your thyroid checked if that is an issue. If it's primarily perimenopausal and menopausal, thyroid probably is not an issue. If you are a lot younger and you are having issues with progesterone, I would just go and ask your physician about all things thyroid. What else? Adrenal fatigue. I don't know if you have issues with blood sugar. That's something to take a peek at. Like if you, I like to make sure my clients are eating on a regular basis. Blood sugar is no joke, and it impacts you at a cellular level. So your body needs to be fed, and then it needs time to digest and have a bit of rest from food, and then it needs to be fed again. So I don't know what your eating habits are, but that might be something to look into. So many things. Hormones are a tricky little topic because they are very finicky, but they do love sleep. They do love healthy foods. They do love you feeding it all the things that you need to be feeding it. Hydration, water, water, water. Mark, welcome. How are you, Mark? Okay, you're very welcome. And if you want more specific help, Miss Australia, you can always DM me. Let's get back to stress reducing, mood boosting foods. Dark leafy greens. Magnesium reduces cortisol and promotes relaxation. We need it. Again, I love magnesium. Stella, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the fam. Bananas. Bananas contain tryptophan and B6. What does that do? Serotonin production. Journeys, thank you for the heart me. For those of you who have not gotten your heart me, please get your heart me today. Stella, hi, how are you? I hope you're well. So welcome, Miss Australia. Kiwis. Speaking of our Australia, I'm assuming you're in Australia, Miss Australia. I can tell you that of all the traveling that I have ever done, I love Australia the most. I have family in Australia, and my sister and I were able to spend a month there 400 years ago, and it was my favorite. I loved it so much. Dale, heart me's. At the very top of the screen, it says coach, and there's a picture of my face or my upper body and head. There's a little heart that you tap on, and I think it costs 1 cent or something. But what it does do is it pushes out our live to more people. And the reason I love that, Journey, thank you for the candy loot. I appreciate that. The reason I love that is because people need to understand how their bodies work. People need a community where they can ask hard questions and they are not met with judgment or any type of negative response. Like, I'm here as a neutral, hopefully well-educated clinical sexologist, and I'm here to answer and to help support with things that we weren't taught when we were younger, and that very much have an impact on our relationship with ourselves, how our bodies function, and then with our partners if we choose to have one. Trish, thank you so much for the autumn love. Thank you, Miss Australia. I appreciate that so much. Okay, we spoke on dark leafy greens. We spoke about bananas. And I think I said serotonin production is what tryptophan and vitamin B6 support. Did I not? If I didn't, there you go. Nala, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Berries. So my people who spoke about berries, and I'm going to specifically address blueberries and strawberries, although all berries are so good. So, I think some people need to be eliminated. They are a little bit rude. Okay, I think that if you don't have anything kind to say, it's probably best that you don't open your mouth. And I think assumptions made about people. I mean, I think we're very patterned people, and I think that when we learn how to communicate, we get into a pattern of communicating, and whether that be negative, whether that be positive, whether that be judgmental, whether that be whatever. My point is, like, if you don't have anything kind to say, please don't say it in my live. You can go elsewhere. Because I think that this community is a safe space, and I don't condone people being mean. So move along. Let's do this one. The little cheeky boo. All right. So blueberries and strawberries are filled with antioxidants, and they protect against that oxidative stress, which is damage. It's stress damage, and nobody wants that. So berries are very, very helpful in that. Did I not? So that is, how do I improve testosterone? I'm talking about a lot of zinc-rich foods are going to help with testosterone, and I'm talking about all things. I just went through a big list, but I'll run through them again. Avocados, eggs, olive oil, coconut oil, nuts, seeds, salmon, sardines, mackerel, sweet potatoes, yams, cruciferous vegetables, oysters. Let me at 100%, Tanya, right? Like I have zero patience for that. I just think life is very challenging as it is. You do not know me, so you don't need to assume things about me. The food is a fuel for our bodies, but I think the mind can do tricks. 100%, Stella. And our brain is our most powerful organ that we have. And what we tell it, it believes. It's such a smart little computer, so to speak, but it's so dumb as well. Manny, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Master, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. And the reason why I say it's dumb, it's because it believes everything we tell it. Raspberries, yes, Trish. Raspberries are, the reason I love raspberries is because raspberries are so high in fiber as well as an antioxidant. And so raspberries are one of my faves, for sure, for sure, for sure. Blueberries are really, they're higher in antioxidants, but all berries are good. Fermented foods, which, not my favorite. But they're great for gut health. Which means serotonin balance. And again, brain. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut. Boo. So fermented foods are amazing. I'm just going to close the door because hubby's chatting, and hubby's from Chicago, so he's loud. Okay, sorry about that. Next one, which I love, 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 love. Journey. We're not all loud. Ah, Lizette. Ah. I believe foods need to be on GMRs as much as... I agree. Green tea or matcha. I love matcha. I love it so much. I do drink water. For those of you who know me, you know I drink a lot of water. The majority of what I drink is I either drink water or matcha. That's really the only things that I drink. I drink over a gallon of water a day. I told him inside voices. I don't know that it's so funny because after he gets off his live, he'll come in to talk to me or whatever, and the voice is still, I don't think he understands what a mic does. Yes, it's green tea essentially. It's the powder for green tea, or part of the powder for green tea. I don't want to pretend I know that I'm a tea guru because I'm really not. But matcha is so delicious and it's really good for you. And why? It contains L-theanine, and that is a natural anti-anxiety amino acid. It's very tasty. My daughter had me taste, I'm not a Starbucks girl because again, I just drink water. But there's a pink drink there, which is coconut milk, and then they put strawberries in it, but it's a pink drink. And then she puts 2 scoops of matcha in it. He swallowed the microphone. Oh, you're probably not wrong. So she puts 2 scoops of matcha in it. So it's the pink drink with 2 scoops matcha. It's so good. It's so tasty. Again, I love all things coconut. I think it's like the best healthy fat for you, or one of the best healthy fats for you. So with a little matcha in there, woo, tasty. Okay, dark chocolate. Again, speak enough on dark chocolate. Why? It stimulates endorphins. It stimulates dopamine. Thank you for sharing the live, Charles. I appreciate that. Whole grains. Again, carbohydrates are a macronutrient that is essential for our body's cellular functions. So please do not say like there are groups of people that think like carbs are bad or fats are bad or this is bad. No, all things in moderation. We need all of those to help our bodies function at an optimal level. So whole grains, oats, quinoa, or I don't know how my hubby says it. It's somebody else probably can. Quinoa or something. He's really hilarious. My wife and daughter need to hear this good information. Charles, you know what I might do? I've been uploading, downloading, whatever. I'm not a computer person. My lives, and I'm gonna start putting them on Tube of the Y, under my channel there. And again, I had a channel over there and then I completely forgot about it when TikTok started, and I think I should start putting my lives back on there because it's just easy to take content, 2-hour content, and throw it over there, and then you can fast forward to whatever you want to see or whatever you want to show them. So I definitely can take this one. I did one on libido a couple weeks ago, I think, that I put up, but I can put this one up. Okay, I will definitely do this. Okay. So whole grains, oats, quinoa, and brown rice. Why? B vitamins support adrenal health. We need our adrenal health because that very much impacts mood, stress, which then impacts libido. Turmeric. If you get turmeric on anything, it does not come out, so be careful. But it is so good as an anti-inflammatory. And it has antidepressant-like properties. So it is, thank you, Lori. It is a good one. And somebody before mentioned that they take turmeric, and thumbs up for you. Okay, so that's the end of my mood boosting. Let's move to foods that boost energy and reduce fatigue. Again, libido feels very much supported when it gets a lot of sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Libido feels best supported when it is energized with healthy foods. Handle name on tube of the Y. I believe it is Shauna Harris, 1939. I don't know why they gave me that number. It's not when I was born, I promise. So SHAUNAHARRIS, 1939. Alex, good afternoon. How are you? Thank you for the cheeky boo, honey. I appreciate that. Suma wants to know if you swallowed the mic. Thank you for the cheeky boo. That's funny. Foods that boost energy and reduce fatigue. Low energy equals low libido. So how do we keep that stamina up? How do we keep our vitality up? Lean protein. We are talking about how to support your libido. And specifically right now, Alex, we're talking about foods that help support your libido. So lean protein, things like chicken, fish, tofu, turkey. What does this do? It stabilizes your blood sugar, therefore stabilizing your energy. Beef, ginger, green apple, amino acid. It's funny because we talked about, we are in different categories, Alex. We talked about foods that improve blood flow and circulation. Done that, check. We talked about hormone balancing foods, check. We talked about stress reducing and mood boosting foods, check. We are now on foods that boost energy and reduce fatigue. So we are going through a lot of different foods that can help support libido. So if there's one in here that you're like, meh, not really a fan of that, I have given plenty of options. Because please understand that libido is like a puzzle. And so many things impact it, which means you can do so many little things to improve it. Complex carbs, oats, sweet potatoes, quinoa, they provide a slow release energy. It is a complex carb, which means it takes a while to do its job. Do you think all blood types can have the same foods, or can they be categorized? Stella, I think that's a really great question. I am so intrigued by Eat for Your Blood Type. I've read that. I think it's fascinating. I am a complete body nerd. I love all information about the body. Louis, thank you for the heart me. So I do think there's something to that. That is why when somebody asks me for a recommendation or something, and I don't know you specifically and your case specifically and what you eat, how you sleep, all those type of things. Danielle, how are you, Danielle? Thank you for the cheeky boo. I appreciate that. And thank you for that little pumpkin. I heard that you went to our restaurant. Was that not delicious? Next time you go, you're going to have the chocolate cake that I had. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I'm glad you went. I'm sending you a big hug. I know I've only met you once, but I kind of we gelled. I think that we need to do our hot air ballooning, and Russell can wave to us from the bottom. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're talking now about foods that boost energy and reduce fatigue that help support our libido. And the reason I was talking about how much that book intrigues me is because when somebody asks me for a specific recommendation and they just expect me to spew one, I can't, because I don't know I don't know the ins and the outs of you. And so as a clinical sexologist, that is what I do. I get to know you as a person, and then I can give more of a specialized and a more individualized recommendation. Thank you for the Hat of Joy journey. I love that one. So I do think there's something to that. Every body is different. Every body functions slightly different. So like assuming that we all need the exact same thing of everything and blah blah. No, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. Iron rich foods: spinach, lentils, red meat, pumpkin seeds. Again, if you are struggling with any type of erectile health issue, watermelon, pumpkin seeds, those are my top two that you need to start with. What do iron rich foods do? They prevent fatigue. They improve oxygen delivery. We need oxygen to be delivered to every single part of our body. B12 foods, which are eggs. Examples are eggs, fish, fortified plant milks. They are vital for energy metabolism. Next one, along the lines of chocolate, cacao nibs. And the reason that I included these in the list is just because they're a natural stimulant for mood and alertness. And they're in my favorite thing, chocolate. So we spoke about maca before. I'm going to speak about it again. Maca root powder is an Andean root known for balancing hormones and boosting schmectual energy. My favorite is chocolate too. Love it. And there's been a lot of research done on maca, and there has been a lot of information to support the fact that maca improves schmectual desire and stamina, even when hormone levels remain unchanged. So that's kind of a cool little tip. So that, what does that suggest? Just that it provides a neurological effect. Zulema, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Heath, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is another one that I recommend to certain people. Maggie, thank you for the cheeky boo. And Bob, thank you for the popcorn. The pumpkin. I appreciate that. Win Maggie in the chat. Win Bob. Okay, I do like ashwagandha, but it doesn't work on all people, just like we mentioned before. So when anybody wants to try a supplement, here's what I say. I say first check with doc. Second, if it's something that you want to try it for 2 weeks, maybe 3. Hey Kim, how are you? Happy Tuesday to you. And then if you notice a difference. Some people notice a difference, some people don't. What is ashwagandha? It's helpful for stress, it's helpful for sleep, it's helpful for anxiety. A lot of people love it, a lot of people don't. It lowers cortisol. What else does it do? It has said to boost performance or muscle strength. Thank you for the love you so much. It's also said to support cognitive function and can help regulate blood sugar. It does a lot of things, but again, thank you, user, I appreciate the follow. Welcome to the fam. Again, it works on a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. Okay, foods that awaken the senses. Now we're talking, right? And then I'm going to go into specific female supporting nutrients or female libido supporting nutrients, and then male supporting nutrients, and then we'll wrap it up. So foods awaken the senses. These engage your taste, your smell, and your texture. And often when I'm struggling, when I'm working with a client that is struggling with performance and anxiety, or getting into the moment, or women that are struggling to reach the big O, I often, typically always, encourage them to enlist all 5 senses. Also come to foods because you eat seasoning. I don't know what that means. I love the new cooler weather for season. They are so good for your body. Also going to also come to foods because, oh, are you talking about eating seasonally? See, I'm really spoiled because I live in Arizona, so we just have that stuff all the time. But when I used to live in Canada, that was very much a thing because we weren't provided with a lot of the things that I love during the summer. We couldn't get them in the winter. So that. I mean, that is a thing for sure. So if we are engaging taste, smell, and texture, which I love because when you incorporate your senses, you are focusing. And that's a good thing when it comes to sexual health and sensual awareness. Strawberries are one. Vitamin C, they're sweet. And there's that, that sense of dipping strawberries in chocolate. Like there's a whole thing around the perception of strawberries, whatever. They're a sensual fruit, right? Figs. Figs are high in amino acids. They are actually a symbol of fertility in a lot of places, and they are rich in texture. Mango, papaya, and pineapple. Love. Exotic fruits that heighten sensory pleasure. So somebody mentioned before pineapple. Here you go. It heightens your sensory pleasure. Cinnamon and nutmeg. I eat cinnamon every day. Cinnamon is so good for you, but it also is a warming spice that increases blood flow and arousal. So I guess I could have put cinnamon under blood circulation too. But here we are. I didn't. I love mango too. It's so good. It's a warming spices that increase blood flow and arousal. Vanilla, again, another one of my faves for sure. What does vanilla do? Again, it's so cool to know what the things that we are just given, that they actually do other things than just feed us. They feed us on a cellular level, which I think is fantastic. It's fascinating to me. Vanilla soothes our nervous system. And when our nervous system is at a state of calm and ease, it is a lot easier to stimulate our senses. It is a lot easier for that sexual response cycle to turn from a state of desire to arousal to the big O, to our refractory period. We are not talking about injectable aphrodisiacs. We're talking about food right now that helps support libido. These fruits are delicious, but unfortunately loaded with sugar, and I am a diabetic. Any other suggestions? Yes, I am 100% giving a lot of other things than just fruit. I'm probably on food number 75 right now. So again, I'm going to put all of this on Tube of the Why. I've actually already made one video on foods. I will continue making more foods. So cinnamon and nutmeg, vanilla, we're talking oysters now. Because their slippery texture and their zinc content, they are considered a sensual food. Wife has low libido, then this is the live for you. We're wrapping up, but I'm going to actually send this to my Tube of the Why channel. And so that might be something that maybe you and her could watch together. Is there a certain amount of each food that you're supposed to eat? Dale, all things in moderation, right? Here's the thing. Like, I am 5 feet tall and I'm a little teeny person. So the amount of food for me is going to be different for you than it is to be Stella and Maggie, and like everybody is different. So I track my macros actually. And so if there's if you are interested in the exact amount, and I mean to the gram, look into tracking your macros. I mean, that's what I do. But I can't specifically address what you need because everybody's different. People are so rude. It's just crazy to me. Thank you, mods. I appreciate it. You're doing your work. Macronutrients. That's your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates. And then there's micronutrients as well. But if you are looking for all things, specific amounts of the food that you intake, that's what I would suggest you take a peek into. So here we go. Honey is my last one on the foods that awaken the senses. And honey, why? Because honey is amazing in that it has antimicrobial, antibacterial proponents to it. Maggie, thank you for the cheeky boo. But honey specifically contains boron and nitric oxide boosters. And I mentioned nitric oxide before, and that we need nitric oxide production in our bodies for blood circulation, for that erectile tissue to become engorged with blood. And why am I doing this? Is because I mentioned before, nitric oxide is produced in our nasal cavities. And when you hum, thank you, honey, for the Go Populars and for the roses. Wow, honey, that's a lot of roses. Thank you. As we get older, our nitric oxide production decreases. We still need nitric oxide for blood to flow to the erectile tissue. So humming, quickest, easiest, cheapest way. Thank you, Maggie, for the cheeky boo. To win Maggie in the chat to increase nitric oxide. But foods that help support, again, honey. I mentioned a few before, but honey is a great nitric oxide booster. And obviously, like, honey is a symbol of like sweetness and all that kind of stuff. Some of us call our partners honey. So it's just a play on words. And again, our brain believes what we tell it. Most powerful schmexual organ. Maggie, thank you for the cheeky boo. Kim, thank you for the heart me. Maggie, thank you for the little Tom's hug. Very timely, Maggie. I appreciate you. Danielle, thank you for the rose. Oh, Maggie. Thank you for the bouquet. I appreciate you. Female libido supporting nutrients. Are you ready? Win Maggie in the chat. We talked about flax. I can't speak enough on flaxseed. Trader Joe's specifically ground flaxseed. Flaxseed and sesame seeds have phytoestrogens in them. What does that do? They help balance hormones naturally. Thank you, Jag. I appreciate that. Shout out to Maggie. Avocado oil and olive oil. They support lubrication for hormone production. Hormone function, sorry. So flax seeds, they balance hormones naturally, and sesame seeds. Avocado oil and olive oil, they support lubrication and hormone function. Yes. Sunflower seeds. I don't know about that one, Maggie. Let me look into that one. I usually know my seeds, but I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that one. I don't know. My brain is foggy. Recommendation for duration of time. Humming per day. Estimate. Oh gosh, James, that's going to be different because your age comes into play, your sex comes into play, the amount of nitric oxide that you already have being produced and already have in your body comes into play. Just do it whenever you remember. Hum. Because there cannot be too much humming. Do you know what I mean? So when you're listening to a song on your playlist or whatever, instead of singing a chorus, hum it instead. And then sing the next one, then hum the next one. Humming, I know that sounds so crazy, but it is research. There's been a lot of research on nitric oxide production, and humming by far. Hum, hum, hum. It's going to boost your nitric oxide production. Dark leafy greens. No apologies needed, ever. This is why we're here, James, to learn, right? And there's some things I'm not going to know that I'm going to want to walk away from here and research. And hopefully there's some things that you all come here and feel comfortable asking and walking away with something that you didn't have coming in. So thank you for the candy loot, Danielle. Win Danielle for the candy loot. Okay, dark leafy greens. Magnesium, like I spoke about before, can't talk enough about magnesium. It eases your muscle tension, and it also eases PMS symptoms. Dark leafy greens, who would have known? Thank you, Maggie. Pumpkin seeds and oysters. Again, we spoke about zinc and what it does. Specifically, it's going to, for women, support testosterone production and arousal. Ask away. I never knew about humming thing. Thank you. Most people don't, Kim. I'm happy to provide little tips and tricks along the way. Men and women need to be humming. Berries and pomegranate. We spoke about berries and pomegranate before. Pomegranate is so good in blood circulation. Berries and pomegranate, again, promote blood flow. And for women specifically, vulvar tissue health. So all things vulva and vaginally down there. The tissue that makes up our vulval tissue is best supported by berries and pomegranate. It is what it is. It promotes nitric oxide production, and we need nitric oxide in our bodies for optimal blood flow. And we are speaking about libido here. Thank you, Maggie, for the rose. We are speaking about erectile health for both men and women, and nitric oxide production decreases as we age. And so nitric oxide, we need more of it as we age. And so by humming, that is going to increase the production of your nitric oxide, and it is produced in our nasal cavities. Maca root, we spoke about above, but we're going to speak about it again. What does it do for females? It increases desire and satisfaction. What is that again? Maca root. And we just spoke about ashwagandha, but I'm going to hammer it home with the female libido supporting nutrients. It is an adaptogen that reduces stress and enhances sexual response. So those are for my ladies, and now I'm moving to the men. So men, zinc-rich foods such as oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, crucial for testosterone production. Next one, there's some commonalities between the two, yes, but I want to make sure that my guys know that this is just for them. Zinc-rich foods, crucial for testosterone. Pomegranate seeds or juice increases erection quality and sperm motility. Oh, Maggie, thank you. So if you are in your childbearing era and you would like to increase your sperm motility and your health in that area, pomegranate is going to help you do just that. All right, let's go. There's a cute little Halloween one over here. Where did it go? There's some little ghosty. I don't know if that was the weird one that hubby was telling me about last night that makes your face weird, but let's try it. Pomegranate juice, again, sperm motility. Next one, Brazil nuts. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of cute. Have you ever done... I don't know what you're speaking of, men's, and if you get me booted off of here, I'm not going to be happy with you. Well, if you're talking about sex, I mean, I wrote a book on it, so that should probably tell you enough. Honestly. Foods that make it taste better. Oh, Dale, that's a great question. I actually did a video on that. I can do another one on that to update. Pineapple's a good one. Anything that has a really distinct, strong flavor, such as broccoli, garlic, onions, asparagus, those are things that we want to take away from, or that we don't take away from. We want to stay away from if that's what you're planning to engage on. Read the room, right? Hello, like clinical sexologist here. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is the deal here. Thank you for that. He was actually blocked before. My gosh. Woo! Get all kinds. But Dale, really, like pineapple, lemon, the berries, the really clean, sweet foods, I would suggest. Mare, welcome. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that, Maggie. Oh my gosh. Hills have eyes. Enough said. Woo! So let's get back to our men here. Dale, I can do a video on that because I think that's a good one. A lot of people ask me that. Garlic and onions boost nitric oxide and testosterone. Brazil nuts, the selenium in Brazil nuts. I have 3 Brazil nuts every day because it's so good for your health. But what this specifically does for men, it supports sperm health and it also supports your mood. Watermelon, again, it's nature's Viagra. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but it definitely is due to its natural citrulline. It helps erectile support. So it's really, really, yes, Dale, 100%. And ginseng and maca, there's a lot of evidence to back the fact that ginseng and maca are sexual performance boosters. So they're going to help in the energy department. They're going to help with erectile health. Oh, Maggie. Thank you, Mare. That's such a weird little one. I love it. That's funny. Okay, so those are my things that wrap up the male and the female supporting. For my people that are a little bit concerned about blood sugar, I love how it pulls you. Let me provide you with a few here. Creatine, HM. I think creatine is super important. I honestly do, for men and women. And I think as you get older with the ability to maintain muscle mass, I think creatine is important. But I will leave that to you. So few people mentioned diabetes or their concerns about regulating blood sugar. Here's the thing. Libido, everyone listening, this is so key. So please hear me out. Libido dips, libido falls, libido crashes when your blood sugar spikes and or crashes. I'm going to say that again. Libido is a smart little guy. When your blood sugar is out of whack, so will your libido be. When your glucose is stable, your mood is stable, your energy is more stable. Therefore, what else is more stable? Your libido. Good job, Dale. Make sure you look for the flaxseed. It's in a green bag. It's kind of like a limey green bag. So foods that regulate blood sugar. High fiber veggies, Lizette, broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, lean protein, chicken, eggs. Cinnamon helps insulin sensitivity. And apple cider vinegar may. Studies are, some show yes, some show no, so I'm just putting it out there. Sally, thank you for the share. May stabilize post-meal glucose spikes. May. And then again, as you know, like I spoke about water before, hydration is so incredibly important. Our cells bathe in hydration. They bathe in the water that we have in our bodies. So water, coconut water, herbal teas. Please make sure you get enough of liquid in your bodies. Hydration is important for sexual health. It's important for your body to survive, but know that it impacts your sexual health. And, you know, when they say what to do, there's always going to be an encouraging what not to do. Caffeine and I just about said it, alcohol, adult beverages are going to dehydrate you. And that means they're going to dull desire. So adult beverages impact libido. As does high processed foods, as does sugary drinks or sugary foods, trans fats. Soy isolates, they alter your estrogen and your testosterone balance, so be careful with that. And licorice root is really, really good for digestive issues if you suffer from them. But just please be careful that you don't consume too much of it because it can reduce your testosterone levels. Okay. Any questions? This has been like a jam-packed session of a lot of information. So I'm fully prepared for the questions. If you want to DM me, if you want, if you're confused about anything, or if you want me to go deeper into something. But there you have it. A massive list of foods that impact libido. I hope that has been helpful for you. Gym Junkies, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the fam. Level 10, Mare. You're moving up in the world. Congrats. Thank you, everybody, for spending some time with me, learning about your libido. Because it's just something that we just really don't think about. It's either supporting us and we're feeling good about our libido, or we're not. We don't really know like the behind the scenes of what's, Thank you, Maggie. That's awesome. Your book contains information mentioned on this live. My book does not speak of specific foods that impact libido. The book is called Speaking of Schmecks, Reignite the Spark in Your Relationship, Spice Up Your Schmecks Life, and Create Long-Lasting Love. What this book is really talks about is communication and how speaking about schmecks in your relationship, why it's important. It talks about how to actually communicate, effective communication, how to resolve conflict, types of intimacy, how to I'm trying to go through the list here. There's a chapter on date night, schmexual satisfaction, staying curious, what schmecks actually does to your body, how to initiate. There's a 7-day challenge in there. It comes with actually a workbook, a downloadable workbook. So there's a lot of different things in there. It does talk about your sexual response cycle and libido. It doesn't go into as specifically as I did today in the exact amount, the exact things the exact foods for blood circulation and all of those other things that I just mentioned. Okay. I am going to invite you to come back on Thursday. We are going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? I can't remember now. I wrote it down. We talked about progesterone. We talked about, I can't even read my writing. I wrote it down so fast. Hold, please. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Vaginal atrophy, overactive bladder, any issues that you're having in that department. Sometimes that comes right alongside with perimenopause and menopause. So we can talk about that. What time, please? Sally, so polite. Thank you, Miss Maggie. I appreciate you. And Lizette and all my mods. I love you to bits. I think that it can't be said enough that I know sometimes there's one odd comment or sometimes there's a lot of them, and to have a safe place where people can come and ask questions and not feel any type of uncomfortable. I mean, I understand that it is uncomfortable if you don't speak about these things on a daily basis, but just, I guess, creating a safe place is very important to me. So thank you to my mods for helping me make it that. Yes. Maritza, I'm going to talk about that on Thursday. Sally, usually I'm on PST 3:34 on Thursdays. So we will do that on 3:34. And I will talk about all things Kegel. I will talk about Kegel balls. I will talk about a lot of different things that can help in increasing your pelvic floor. I'll even get out my model and show you exactly where your pelvic floor is and why it's important and why it's referred to as a hammock. Brian, thank you for the heart me. Welcome. Thank you for the populars. So we will talk about that as well. Again, I do not take it lightly that time is super, you can't get it back. And for you to be spending time with me, I appreciate it. And I will see you on Thursday. If you are on your own this afternoon and this evening, please do something kind for yourself. If you are with somebody that you cherish and that you love, please do something kind for them. Thank you so much for coming here to learn along with me. And I will see you on Thursday. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of this community. It's important to me. I appreciate it because I think it makes a difference in people's relationships, in people's lives, people's relationships with themselves, and also those around them. So I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. And I will see you soon. Love you all. Thanks.